Yes, that's right. The update 1.2.7 finally hit us on Xbox. It did land with a gigantic update for us today. Now, as we know, it had been in certification, which is why it took a little while extra for it to actually finally hit us over on the Xbox. Meanwhile, PlayStation have been having a really good go of it. Now, there's a few things that I've seen repeatedly within the comments of that last video I done where I kind of chatted about all of the patch notes that this update gives us, or at least a few of the main patch notes. There are worth far too many for me to go through, and I'm not going to re-go through all those patch notes here in this video. Maybe loop back around, watch that other video, that way you can kind of get a feel for what this update does bring, because it does bring an awful lot of content. Now, one thing I would say is that based on those comments, there are two things that we want to go through. Number one is that it is compatible with all of the saves that you previously had. So if you currently have a game, you can continue that game and you can still use these cheats, in that current game. So you don't have to worry about that. I think a lot of people were concerned that we're going to be forced to start a brand new game, and it's kind of cool. We don't have to do that, although I would probably recommend starting a new game just because so much fundamentally has been changed. Now, the next thing that we want to go to is actually how to get those cheats. So if you bring up that pause menu, and if you go to your campaign options all the way down right here, you can see not only can we click it, but if we highlight that little area, it will tell you how we actually go about bringing up this cheats menu, not having to pause a game actually while in game. Now, it does warn you that if you enable these cheats, it will stop any and all achievements from being made. But if you actually have a look or draw it up, you can see we get a number of different cheats that we have options to. Now, one that people are going to like the most is probably going to be able to get yourself unlimited gold. Now, you only get 1,000 gold at a time. That's a little bit disappointing, if I'm honest, because within Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, if anyone's actually played it, you do need an awful lot of money. Now, is it going to be quicker than smithing? Of course it is. But it is going to take you an awful long time to get 1 million gold or 2 million gold, As you go on, you can see how disappointing that cheat probably is. Influence, again, is another one that I think is a little bit of a you're not going to be able to use this unless you're in a kingdom, because it's really important to remember that, influence is kingdom related. Renown is very overpowered. You are able to go to a tier 6 clan almost instantly, which is kind of insane. Now, we do also have the remove the fog of war. That was a feature that was brought in on that last big update that we had as well. We can heal our party, we can get some food, we can get some mats, which is kind of cool. We can also get troops, but I believe the troops is actually capped at the maximum amount of troops that you're actually able to hold in your party. So you can't just gift yourself 1 million troops. It's not going to work like that. But you're still going to be able to tweak it. You're still going to be able to overuse it, and you're going to be able to fill up your garrisons. The ability to gift yourself war horses, I think, is going to be an interesting one, because they can be tricky to actually get. Now, the other thing you can do is boost a skill. Now, while you can't actually give yourself levels, which I think some people have been a little bit disappointed about. I did see quite a few comments about, they were expected to actually be able to level up your character. That's not the case here, but what you can do is give yourself those skills, so you can effectively max out a character in any skill line that you want. Like, for instance, if you want lots of leadership to be able to have those huge armies of troops, well, you'll be able to effectively give yourself max leadership straight from the beginning of the game. Every time you activate that cheat, you will get 50 of that skill, whatever it is, for instance, you do. So for instance, in leadership, we managed to completely cap it out. We can't get any bit more of a bigger number than we currently have, which is, again, kind of cool. It gives us access to be able to pick up whatever perks we want from the very beginning of the game, and really give us real agency over our character, our campaign, so early on. I definitely wanted to make sure that I showed you how to actually, get to those cheats on console, because I had a lot of people unable to figure it out when they were playing a game. A lot of people commented on my last video, so I just wanted to make sure that I did show it, and so you know how to do it. It's just in the campaign menu option. And as we saw, we just gave ourselves 50 skill points on two-handed weapons, just kind of demonstrating that that's how it works. You do get 50 points every time you activate that cheat. It's an interesting one, to be honest with you. I would have probably liked it to have a little bit less. 50 is an awful lot. I would have just liked a little bit more ability to use them as and how you wanted. But there we go. We just gave ourselves another 50 points on the two-handed weapon. As you can see, we can straight away pick which perks we want on which side we want them. So it's really kind of cool. It means we don't necessarily need those attribute points at all anymore, which is really what you're able to get as you level up. Now, I was looking about how to kind of exploit the cheats that we have, because like I said, actually being able to get 1,000 gold per time you click it, it can be a little bit laggy. It is a little bit slow if you ask me. However, one thing I did notice is that you do get 10 of each material in the game when it comes to smithing. I think that there can be made to be more useful if you manage to find a city with lots of goods. If you manage to find a city with lots of money, giving yourself an unbelievable amount of mats and then selling those mats to that city is, in my opinion, going to be the quicker way to get that kind of money. Especially as you can get some rather rare steel this way too. One of the other cheats that I think is the most interesting is the fact that you can unlock all recipes in the game. That's tremendous. Smithing is so long. It's a fantastic part of the game. It's a fantastic way to make money. But it does take up an awful lot of time to get the parts, the necessary parts unlocked whenever you want them. You also have a cheat now where we can, give our parties back that smithing stamina as well. So this is kind of a massive thing when it comes to smithing. I was under the assumption that these cheats would eliminate smithing, eliminate the need for them. But after a little bit of thought and a little bit of an examination over these cheats, I actually think that smithing is still going to be very viable, because I don't want to be sat there pressing that button 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 times to get myself some 3 million in the bank. It's not fun. That money cheat kind of needs to be upgraded. I was also surprised that when you get given your troops, it's actually pretty high level troops you get given. I thought it might be lower end troops, but no, you get those top tier troops straight away. So that's also really interesting. As you can see, we have hit that clan tier 6, and we are literally at the beginning of our campaign. In fact, this video picks up where the last video left off. But there we go, guys. We finally have those console cheats here on the Xbox. And of course, these are the cheats we have. So if you have any questions, if you want to chat to anyone within the community, we do actually have an active and growing Discord. The link can be found down in the description. We do have a ton of Bannerlord's players within the server as well. So if you want to join, come say hi and share your stories. Or perhaps you just got a question that you need an answer to. be good to have you in the server. But until next time, I've been a monk who's been critically curious, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.